Друзья, я рад представить вашему вниманию подкаст, который я записал с Владимиром Борисовичем Крамником, 14-м чемпионом мира, человеком, который победил Гарри Каспарова в матче за титул, который долгое время оставался на вершине шахматного Олимпа, был в числе сильнейших шахматистов мира, несколько лет назад ушел на пенсию, и вот год назад он вернулся, чтобы заняться античитинговой борьбой. И, конечно, по-разному относятся люди к его деятельности. Много очень скепсиса, много очень критики. И я сам, на самом деле, с очень многими вещами в его оценках не согласен. Поэтому у нас получился достаточно дискуссионный, достаточно острый подкаст, где мы спорили. Я приводил контраргументы, задавал какие-то острые вопросы, постарался задать все вопросы, которые моя аудитория мне тоже скинула. Очень много готовился, смотрел разные видеоразборы с критикой Владимира Борисовича. При этом я убежден, что самое главное, что Владимир Борисович занимается этим всем искренне. Он ставит на кон свою репутацию ради того, чтобы бороться с важной, по его мнению, проблемой. И не только по его мнению, очень многие считают, включая Магнуса, и Фабиану, и Яна, и многих других топовых шахматистов, очень многие считают, что читинг, особенно в онлайне, это экзистенциальная проблема для шахмат и для их будущего. И здесь сложно не согласиться. Можно по-разному оценивать масштаб этой проблемы, по-разному оценивать методы. Я не согласен со многими оценками Владимира Борисовича, не согласен со многими методами, но я согласен с тем, что диалог этот нужно вести, что эти проблемы нужно решать, обсуждать. Поэтому я, конечно же, был счастлив увидеть его на своем подкасте, да еще и поговорить с такой легендой, а в конце сыграть с ним партию в блиц. 2 часа – это долгий подкаст, но я надеюсь, вам понравится. Было очень много интересных тем. И на всякий случай дисклеймер, мы говорили на английском языке, потому что этот подкаст записывался для иностранной аудитории, для моего англоязычного канала, но мы с командой решили по классике сделать для вас перевод, сделали субтитры, чтобы можно было слушать для тех, кто по-английски говорит хорошо, а кто не очень, читать субтитры и понимать, о чем мы говорим. Я жду от вас лайков и комментариев, если вы хотите больше такого контента. И подписывайтесь на мой телеграм-канал «Шахматы с Мастридером». Ссылка в описании. А теперь поехали!
Hi everyone, my name is Greg Mastrider, and today I'm honored to present to you the guest of my podcast, the former world chess champion, Vladimir Borisovich Kramnik. Vladimir Borisovich, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, hello everyone, and nice to be here. I've seen a couple of your interviews or talks, with some players. I liked it a lot, and I'm very glad to be your guest today.
Okay, I would be thrilled to discuss with you, of course, as a legend of the game, your story, your matches against the top chess players of all time. But that will probably wait until next episodes, because in this one we will be concentrating on your anti-cheating activism, which you have been conducting throughout the last year, and it's received mixed reception, so to say. There are many questions. I have many questions. My audience has many questions, and I'm sure it will be a fascinating discussion. So, first of all, Vladimir Borisovich, I would like to ask you how you could summarize the results of this campaign so far. You have embarked on this journey around a year ago. What are the preliminary results? How would you evaluate them?
It's hard to evaluate those results. But definitely something happened, and very important is that, first of all, the whole subject of cheating, anti-cheating, etc. Started to be, it's not a taboo anymore, and that is very important, I believe, because as, for example, Magnus Carlsen have said in his interview, it is an existential problem of chess in general. We really need to do something about it, and just keeping silent about this problem is totally wrong path. So that is a very big issue. Also, I believe very important that people started to be informed, to be aware of certain things, certain statistics, and etc. of certain methods. For example, yesterday, just night, I published something on my X, and showing simply how simple is actually, how easy is to do it, and how refined are those programs which you can download on the internet even for free or for $3, you know. And how simple is the task, you know? It's just like it's so easy. People are not aware, and how many different variations of it. You can have it like that, like this. So you can, by the way, have a look at it. You know, check my Twitter X. So that is a positive issue. And well, of course, when I was starting it, I didn't know what to expect, how it will proceed, and well, to me, the way it proceeds, it actually only, well, just confirms something what I'm, well, frankly, completely confident, I mean, that it is the case. I mean, okay, in a certain, in particular, there might be maybe somewhere I might be wrong, but in general, the situation is as I thought it is. Well, let's say not by the way, not immediately, not from the very beginning. I mean, but there are certain things were happening, certain development of this whole story just convinced me that the situation is even much actually worse than I thought at the very beginning. That it's actually a huge threat for our game, for integrity of chess, and that's why. Well, we will see. I think in general, anyways, whatever will happen later, I think it was very useful what I did already, and I expected, of course, a lot of criticism, but that's okay for me. I mean, the danger is too serious, too, let's say, conceptual and strategical to care much about certain PR attacks, which I knew I'm going to experience, against myself. So that is okay. This is, of course, I mean, the only thing which is bothering me, I mean, which actually is making me sad, is not that a lot of people, sometimes bots, I'm sure, sometimes people who are attacking me, trying to actually have a certain personal attacks, you know, well, questioning my sanity and so on. That I don't care much. What I care is that, of course, those people are making the task of actually the final goal, which is to make online chess, and maybe not only online chess, well, at least cleaner, if not totally clean, it makes it much more difficult. I mean, that is actually very sad to see that many people, they don't understand that actually they're, I mean, in many cases, they're simply ignorant, they're lacking any knowledge, any actual understanding of the point, but in fact, they're helping unconsciously, they're helping actually cheating to proceed, you know, and that is a bit sad to me, but okay, it doesn't stop me anyways.
Okay, let's discuss the details. In a recent video in Russian on his channel, Yan Nepomniachtchi said that he believes you've done some things, some very correct and necessary things, but that you've done some things incorrectly, and that he says, it's my translation, he says, in future, people will be skeptical of your effort because of this, because of the mistakes. You replied in Russian in comments under that video. Let me translate the comment. Some things I could have done better, and others hardly, on the basis of some causes unknown to the public, but on the basis of some information known to me. End of quote. So I have two questions in this respect. First, what do you think you could have done better? And second, can you please share this information unknown to the public, but known to you? That would be very interesting, I think.
If I could have wanted to share this information, I would already do it, because in general, everything what I do is very open, very public, and I'm ready to stand by my words, and to, in any interview or discussion on internet, whatever, live conversation, it's only the other side which is avoiding it by all means, any direct talk. But some things. I'm not definitely telling everything. what I think and what I know, but I just cannot, for the moment at least. So but what I could have done better? Well, I mean, definitely some things, but again, it's like in every situation in life, you always afterwards you think, I should have done this or that. How stupid was I, or something like that. But you didn't know when you were in this situation. You simply didn't know how it will proceed. So it's a kind of cognitive fallacy, to think that, of course, it was clear that I should have done it differently. Well, now it's clear. At that moment, it was not clear. I mean, frankly, the only thing which was surprising to me is actually, frankly, let me put it, let's say, accurately, that it's in a way, let's put it this way, that the world of chess is so different than it used to be, in the sense of, I don't know if you want mentality-wise. I was sure that certain things would not happen, or there would be certain reactions which weren't. And that's why maybe if I knew it, I would be a little different. But it was actually quite difficult to predict something. So, I mean, it's okay. We are all we cannot play perfect games. Yeah, even if you play well, you still make mistakes. So, and here I wouldn't say I'm a professional player. I just started it honestly and sincerely, and also again. I'm not professional in it, I'm just trying to be open, honest, and simply tell what I think, tell what is the situation in my opinion, and and then to see what is the reaction. So now I'm a bit more experienced already. Now I know more, I understand even more of the full setup. Let's say the full picture is more clear to me. And I guess I would do a bit better since then. But again, I know the situation. The situation. I mean, I understand the full picture. I'm kind of fighting with a big company, which let's be straight. Okay, this is my opinion. Let's say it's argumented. I can bring a lot of arguments on the table, but I'm fighting with a force which wants, in my, again, opinion, wants to hide all this, I'm absolutely sure myself that they know everything. They know the scale of cheating, but they don't want to reveal it. I mean, I'm completely convinced by many things which happened since then that this is the case. So, okay, if I'm fighting with a multi-millionaire, if not billion, company which has PR agencies, all kind of resources to attack, and I'm basically alone. So in this situation, well, I know that they will, and since I seemingly touched a very, very sensible and very important issue for them, and probably the most dangerous issue for them. Or maybe one of the most dangerous. So they put a lot of efforts. I can see it, and you can call me paranoid, whatever. I don't care, what people tell, but it's very obvious for a logical person by how it proceeded that they're very, very careful about it, that they take a lot of measures, how to fight against it, how to keep it, to make it disappear, this agenda. But they cannot manage, which is actually very, very important. They cannot manage. I mean, they're trying everything to, they don't talk anymore. They just don't react anything. They simply, they tried first. They made some mistakes, some huge mistakes. Then they stopped at all reacting and then they do it in different ways. But okay, I understand the whole setup. I mean, and then it would be naive for me to expect that everybody will be on my side because, we know nowadays world, especially people who are not who are not specialists in this field. Okay, they just listen. They just listen to what somebody said, and usually, they listen to more to people who has millions of subscribers and so on. And in this sense, it's not my... I mean, I knew exactly, when it's like a battle, like a chess game. I knew my play is on the king side, let's say, and they're playing on the queen side. It doesn't make sense to... I know on the queen side I'm weaker and they're going to win this game. But I hope to mate them first. And that's why I'm concentrating. I'm concentrating on my flank. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to seriously fight against my opponent, as you can say in this field. On the PR field, I'm going to lose anyways. No chance. They have a lot of resources. They're uncomparable with me. So I'm trying to keep it kind of alive. Not to lose all my pieces on that flank, at least, but I have no illusion I'm going to lose on PR front. But hopefully I'm going to make them there fast, quicker. Yeah. So that is in chess terms, that is the situation.
That's a nice metaphor, definitely. Although I would argue that, in my opinion, it is in chess.com's best interests to fight cheating on their platform. And I believe that they sincerely are trying their best to do that. But we will discuss that definitely.
I'm sure. Just for one little note, I'm completely convinced about the opposite. But okay, yeah, we will discuss it.
I understand. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's discuss some things about chess.com, which you already mentioned. You recently were banned by them for several months. You said that you were doing some research using the Krakosia account provided to you by Grandmaster Denis Hismatulin. And that's why, because of this research, you said that's why you were playing on his account entitled Tuesdays and not on yours. The question is, can you please explain what exactly you were doing, what kind of research it was that required breaking the rules, playing under a different name? Maybe that could help people understand your
of course.
motivation.
Well, to start with, I can tell you that this is by far, it's not a serious violation of rules. It's not ethical violation of rules because, by chess.com, it violates the rules, even though, there are much more serious violations many people are doing openly under camera and nobody cares. And I can give examples. You can check. They're violating rules. For example, for 2 or 3 months already, you are not allowed to have chat while streaming, and more than one people openly streaming and talking to chat, and it is a violation of the rules. So, if they are so principled, I'm sorry, then you should, do so. But anyway, frankly, what was the situation? I was not planning to play anymore and so on. So at some point when I understood the whole situation, that actually we are not on the same side with chess.com. And, it took me some time to talk to them. For like 2 months, I was in communication with them. And it became very clear to me that we are having different goals in this issue. And so then I just decided to make this experiment. First of all, why it is ethically, it's not a big deal. At least what I can tell you, first of all, I know some cases of people doing it. I will not tell, this because, again, I don't believe it is any serious violation. Secondly, basically, I got like 5 accounts, 5 very serious players, very honest and, players who were ready to give me accounts. So, it's like when I explained the idea. So at least this can explain public that it's nothing to do with cheating. It's totally different level. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, having a small violation, like crossing the street on the red light or killing a person. Both are kind of violations of law, but it's like totally different scale. But so the idea was, because when I understood that, I started, and actually I'm still doing developing certain system of anti-cheating. So my goal, my idea was, at some point, more and more, I was doing this and very openly and publicly anti-cheating, let's say, story. More and more, I started to feel that they started to cheat against me in huge amount. It's very statistically clear, which actually proves, because my statistics shows very clear huge, let's say, race of performances and level of the same opponents before I started to do it publicly and after. And this cannot be accidental, I believe, and this is very logical consequence. So my idea was I wanted to check to play also myself, but very important was to check to understand, is it connected with my name? So if I play under somebody else's account, so very important was to choose somebody account because that kind of limits the damage, which is very small, to a minimum. The fact of playing on the account of somebody of more or less your strengths, actually, this account, why I've chosen this account, because it was more or less my strengths, more or less my rating, more or less my strengths. So then it's for the opponent, it doesn't matter so much. If he plays, let's say, I was mentioning already, if I play, let's say, Matlakov or Vityugov, okay, they're very strong players, both 27 plus. Okay, when you play blitz, a game, of course, there is no preparation because you learn about your opponent just 2 seconds before the game starts. It's a really minor difference. If I think I'm playing Vityugov, I'm playing Matlakov, or other way around. It doesn't really matter. What matters that the person, I know the level of a player and I know that he's playing fair. Yeah, that's what matters. Everything else. So this was really, everything was done to completely minimize any damage possible for other players. And so that's why, okay, I collected very important, actually, information, very important. I don't know if, in one word, first of all, some people who were clearly cheating against me when they were playing me, but not doing it when they were playing this account. So it was very important for me to understand the mentality of cheaters, to understand the concept, how do they do it. That's the most important. Once you get to this idea of how exactly, what is their kind of strategy, then it becomes much easier to actually to catch them. Yeah. But also other way around. Actually, some people who were afraid to cheat against me when I played on my name were very clearly cheating against this account when I played on this account. So I understood quite a lot. I got some people who are, again, cheating. What I tell cheating, you're never 100% sure, but, pretty sure by many things I check, because it's not just my feeling, it's statistics. A lot of, I will tell later about it. There are so many parameters I'm checking very carefully, so that was very important. And finally, there were a couple of other things which were important. So in a way, it was like fishing, you're just put it into water and you try to catch fish in a way. Yeah. So let's say when they know it's me, the fish is not eating. When it's not me, some fish starts to eat because they don't know it's me. But all in all, surprisingly, that was very important and surprising that finally, gave very important information to me that actually the amount of cheating was even slightly higher than when I played under my name, which actually convinced me the situation is totally dramatic because, okay, when it's me, I can understand maybe people don't like me, whatever. Also that they want to win against me because of, to record a couple of YouTube videos and to get maybe the fee for lessons, $50 more per hour, whatever. Yeah, but here, actually, it was like, let's say it was a bit less dangerous to cheat against this account, but also a bit less profitable. But actually, the cheating was very high. I would say more or less equal to my understanding. So actually, I lost a lot of rating of poor Hizmatulin. It was his account, but it was accidental. It was his account. So so which also means, by the way, that what kind of advantage I could have if I finally was scoring worse than under my name. So let's say if it was him who would play instead of me, probably he would score better. So actually, I in a way gave a present to my opponent that it was me playing, not him, under this account. So it's just a ridiculous conversation about trying to make me a criminal or out of this thing. But I knew what I'm doing. By the way, many people knew about it. I mean, I was telling openly to many people. Even there was one opponent who wrote me, and maybe it was through him which that information went public. He asked me that, I feel the openings are similar, so maybe it's you. I said, yeah, it's me. Well, I mean, I was not hiding it at all. Let's say I was ready to be banned. I don't care at all. And any time when they would find it out and ban me, I was not. If they would ask me, ChessCom, or these people, very interesting to understand who were exactly those people who were collecting this information and then finally published it. If they would just directly ask me, I would say, yes, it's me. And I immediately admit it, yeah. So there was no secret. I mean, ChessCom, if could send me email, yeah, I would say, yeah, it's me. If you won't ban me, I don't have any problem with it. So, I mean, the whole story, yeah, that was the reason. Sorry for such a long answer, but that is true. I didn't win any money. I didn't get anything out of it. And I was not, even if I would win, I would never take this money. I mean, so, okay, that's, if you think that I won maybe some games where people could have receive some money, but also I lost some games, which maybe his Matulin, let's say, himself would win, and then they receive money. So it's actually, you cannot calculate it. Anyway, yeah, I understand it's not perfect, but in a way, I mean, was understanding at some point when I understood that actually ChessCom is not willing, in my opinion, to catch anyone actually, and well, I felt like if I really seriously want to do it, I left with no choice, and this small violation of, I mean, something which I would definitely never do otherwise. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have many follow-up questions and clarifications. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, just to clarify, I think you said in your initial reaction to this ban that you never won any prizes in prize tournaments. And today you say this again, but I've double-checked. It turned out that you did once enter into top 5 while playing as Krakozia, taking the 4th place. So, did you receive the prize?
No, I never received any prize. But first of all, again, I was not playing all the tournaments there. I don't know who was playing some other tournaments. I mean, it doesn't mean that I play every single tournament since then. Yeah, so that is already a manipulation of those people. That, okay, I played quite an amount. I don't remember actually how many I played, but not all of them. And definitely I never received, not me, not him, never received any money. Well, actually, also another.
So it was Denis playing,
I don't know who or somebody else. I don't know. I really don't know. Well, in any case, why also I've chosen this account? That Denis also told while providing it that actually I cannot even receive any money because he doesn't have any account abroad. And because of sanctions, he cannot receive money actually from ChessCom. So that was actually very important, that he cannot even physically, theoretically receive the money. So that was actually nice. And also I decided to take the account of a Russian that, because I also understand that, there is a difference to cheat against, unfortunately, on chess.com, and probably not only against American or European or Russian. So Russian means basically no consequences, yeah? If you are not some ChessCom friendly person.
Really?
Of course.
You think there is such discrimination?
Not discrimination. I mean, not like no. I mean, there is much less chance that somebody will. Let's say, okay, you imagine. Let's talk. Let's say, whom do we take? Kamer, for example, sends a complaint to ChessCom. Okay, this guy is really cheating. Or his Matulin sent a complaint. I mean, Kamer, they might seriously consider his Matulin. They would just throw into the rubbish bin immediately. They wouldn't even care. That is for sure. I can guarantee you. So that was also like to make them, I was fishing to make them like not being afraid. That was also a point. So no, there was absolutely no way to receive any money to start with, even theoretically. And I don't remember if I played the tournament you told me. I mean, I didn't actually, but I felt like I mean, for sure, nobody, not me, not him, received any money for sure. But was it me or not? I have to check. I mean, I have to check this. But I remember just that basically I was like never even fighting for prizes. I mean, the cheating was so huge.
Okay, let's insert here a graphic after the recording. I'll ask you to double check, and you will send me the information, and we will put it in the graphic, whether it was you or not, to clarify. Because it was the tournament played during the time when you were playing under the Krakosian username, and yeah, it's...
And so what? I mean, if you did, that it was would case, mean...
Yeah. If you did, that would mean that you, even if you didn't take the money, you deprived other people of their prizes, right? Even if
correct,
you didn't take yours.
Let's say if it would be him. I mean, I also actually lost a lot of games in the last round where, I mean, let's say if I would win, probably I would get into prizes. So it means, okay, I also gave some money to people. Yeah. I mean, this is all like a very minor thing. I mean, yeah, maybe somebody, if this player, I don't know, if the one who lost, and then it was a tournament which I played, well, I can compensate him if he wants. I mean, no problem at all. I mean, with my own money. If he feels like I deprived him from the money, I mean, no problem at all. It's anyways, it's not, it's not so much about money. The money is quite small. I mean, so that's why, okay, this is just not even mentioning how many times this was happening. People playing from different accounts. And I can assure you, it's a very common practice. But okay, anyways, doesn't matter. I mean, so that is, again, there are many videos of very top players, let's put it this way, let's not mention name, who are playing with a company and people are advising moves. I'm sorry, that is something much worse. And nobody talks about it at all, like as if it's on video. It's on video, yeah. So I mean, this is all a bit
I've seen those videos.
This is all a bit of hypocrisy, and I mean, I know very well that what I've done is not correct, but it's nothing even close to what many people did. And nobody is discussed and nobody is banned and so on. So, but if they want, again, I'm not against ban. I mean, I'm just against the double standards. And then when people are on camera doing much worse than this, nobody talks, nobody bans them. And then when I do, rather small actually violation of rules, they start to make a noise and ban. But I wish there would be as principle in anti-cheating as they are in this case. But okay, never mind.
Okay. Let's continue discussing chess.com. Yeah, I also wanted to mention that probably the reason why it is considered a violation for our viewers and listeners is the fact that even though the two players might be of similar strength and of the similar rating, still you might approach a game against Mr. Kramnik in a different way as you would have approached a game against a different grandmaster, different opening repertoire, different style.
No,
so I guess that matters.
That practically doesn't matter. I'm as experienced player. You should understand situation. You're just playing like a blitz game. You just get the opponent, you start the game. You don't even care what opening. I mean, when you play blitz, you don't just play random opening. So that is a very minor thing, but what is major thing, and that's why I was doing it, that yes, you can approach this game differently, you are right, but in the sense cheating, not cheating. And that is true. That is very important. In this sense, and that was the goal of my experiment, because I understood the only real difference would be that the person decides if he is cheating at all, decides to cheat or not to cheat. But I'm specialist enough, and if you don't agree, you can ask any strong player about it. And okay, it's not a major difference.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. And also, I'm quite surprised by your assumption that if you believe some people are cheating online, that they would be cheating more actively against you, because in my opinion that would be too risky for cheaters to face the activist who fights them
actually,
and to cheat against him.
Actually it is that's why it's, I think if you start to have a different assumption, it's because you have an assumption which is, I'm completely convinced that it's wrong, as many other people. Assumption is that ChessCom is trying to catch these cases. My assumption is that they all understand already very well that, basically you, again, I would put it this way, I'm completely convinced that what ChessCom business model, I would say, is to, if you have a slightest chance not to catch, not to ban a player, you do it. That is for sure. Because there are so much statistics where, you just cannot not ban the person, but they still do. And that is for me very clear.
Can I ask another question in that regard? So I find it really strange what you're saying, because according to common sense, it would seem that the platforms want to ban and find cheaters, because otherwise the platform that doesn't do that becomes like a place where there are many cheaters, top people, top GMs, world champions,
which is very profitable.
They see it and they leave it,
of course,
because they don't want to play cheaters. And many people are vocal about their criticism of online cheating. Fabiano, in the podcast episode with me, said that he faces a lot of cheaters in Title Tuesday. You are voicing similar concerns. Many people discuss this problem.
How many more?
Well, most of guests of my podcast agree that there is a problem.
That
they
nothing.
Might differ in the extent of the problem.
But so what that they agree? What does it change? They stop playing? They play? So what? No, this...
Well, if the platforms do not ban cheaters, they might leave to another one.
To which one?
Potentially.
No, I will explain you. But it's very, very... In fact, this common sense, so to say, is actually totally wrong, in my opinion. Common sense tells exactly the opposite. Because, okay, let's go. If you have time, I will explain you how I believe everything happened. Okay, at some point, ChessCom was a very serious platform, but in quite high concurrence with, for example, Chess. We are talking about 5 years ago or earlier. Maybe ICC was there and some other. Okay, it was not like so dominant as it is now, yeah? So then there was pandemic, Queen's Gambit, etc., and so on. So then you had to. There were a lot of people who, especially I think pandemic, who started nothing to do at home, started to play chess online. So there was a very hot moment when there was a moment of expanding. Somebody had to take all those maybe millions of people. Yeah, so there was a big concurrent fight at that moment. How to win this fight? Let me be frank, and it's not something it's just because I'm honest. Yeah, it's not something to damage ChessCom or whatever, but to me, it's very clear, at least for me, it's clear that Chess is a better, much more friendly user platform. It's more comfortable board. Everything is actually for a user. Okay, that's my opinion. And for sure, I would prefer to play on chess. Purely as a user. So, okay, that's my opinion. If you don't agree, it's okay. But then how do you win this competition? There are a lot of people. Okay, now let's get to basics. Okay, let's say you have a John or Ivan who enters and he wants to play he has nothing to do during pandemic. He wants to play chess games. What happens? Chess is not a game of a chance. In chess, you cannot really raise your level so easily. So basically, very soon, finally, and you enter it as entertainment, as any other game, at the beginning. So then what platform wants business-wise, that you stay and play. And finally, even by the most important, last but not least, so to say, you buy a subscription and you pay money, and you stay. So when you play a game of chess, what happens after some time? Well, you are stuck on a certain level. You are stuck, let's say, 1,500. Okay, you basically beat 1,300 all the time, and you always lose against 1,700. Otherwise, before you start to do serious work, it's not easy to improve level in chess. And basically, logically, you leave very soon, because at some point you are stuck. It's always the same. And if you really don't allow, seriously take care of engine, if you can use engine, then you can beat anyone, basically everybody can beat everybody in a way, And then it becomes very interesting. You can even beat Magnus Carlsen, in the first round of some event. Then it makes, it is what people don't understand. It's very obvious from a business point of view that you keep much more people in this way than, of course, some would leave. Maybe some strong grandmaster, and that is true, some left, but you keep much more people like this, being very kind of tolerant, so to say, about it. And that is, I believe, in my opinion, that is actually the way, because I think ChessCom was extremely tolerant to this at that moment, just to get all those people, all this mass of people who came during these couple of years. And they won the concurrent fight, So they won the fight. A lot of people subscribe to ChessCom. They like it much more than others because it's kind of much more tolerant. That is just my clear logic. And okay, you might agree or not, but that is how I see the situation. And by the way, it's by the kind of proof by numbers, statistics which I have. Then at some point, now you are becoming a hostage of your business model. Because, of course, if you allow it so easy, and then, okay, you want top players, you want strong players, because those people, if you want them to pay, I think it's like $100 or even more per year, subscribement. If you want them to pay, they want entertainment. They want also not only play, it's not enough to pay $100. They want to see all best players playing. So then, you need to deliver this, that players are playing, top players. Then somehow, then you give money. When you give money, okay, there was probably you also want all players to be on your platform, strong players. So then at some point, I think it crossed the barrier when actually fighting against me, even when you already I would say maybe 22 or something, it was clear, especially when they bought this Magnus group, it was clear they're becoming, let's say, clearly they're becoming monopolist. They become a monopolist. That was a moment where you could maybe try to change the business model, but it was too late, I believe, because the scale of cheating is, I think, not too many people understand what is the scale. And the problem is that you cannot now ban. You cannot ban because, not that you cannot, but the risks of banning some people are so high of a big scandal. Because, okay, sorry for this long monologue, but it's very important that people understand. Okay, let's say there are some people, I publish a lot of statistics. For example, one player, he is not 2600, has never been 2600, not in blitz, not in classical chess. Never ever. So he, at some point, he scored 12 wins in a row. I mean, if you are considering the group of 27 plus players, so in blitz, so top 25. So if you share it into this group, at some point on, it was a couple of years ago, he won 12 games in a row against this group. Statistical probability, for example, of this, according to one of the mathematicians, he published it, by the way, on his X, is, according to him, 1 in 50 billion. I mean, it's impossible. Basically, it's impossible. It never, of course, happened. Even close to this never happened. So if you let this person play, and he's playing and he earned quite some money since then, I mean, what can you think about it? You think they don't have the statistic? If you don't ban a person who's obviously, even common sense tells that it's impossible, and mathematical probability is 1 in 50 billion, so more than people on the planet, 50 billion. So, I mean, if he's still playing without any problem, I mean, what kind of verdict you can say? I mean, then it means you're not banning basically anyone.
Can I provide a version? I think the most probable version for this case is that they do not have proof. I don't believe that they don't have incentive to ban cheaters. They do it all the time. I play on chess.com regularly. I'm 2200 rated in blitz, 2250 in rapid. So obviously much lower level than top players. But I play and I regularly receive messages that one of your opponents was cheating. We have banned him or her. And I think the difference with the case that you have provided is that they do not have proof. In other cases, they had proof. For example, they saw the browser was changed, different tabs were shifted, something else. I don't know their algorithm.
No, it's not the case.
But they cannot ban just without final proof. It's like the standard of legal
I mean, this
matters.
Is all what you say is. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is a ChessCom kind of mantra they're telling, but it's wrong from first to the last. First, okay, all arguments you mentioned, I'm sorry, are wrong, and I explained already many times publicly why it is completely wrong. First, you are telling that there is no proof. You don't ban if there is no proof. Okay, please tell me, what can you consider as a proof? There is no such thing as proof 100%. There is no such thing. There is a very important legal thing. When let's say most of juridical cases, when somebody stole money or whatever, most of the time he doesn't admit. So it means then there is no proof. You cannot put him in prison. And here we are not talking about prison. We are talking about ban, even can be maybe not public, So, I mean, it cannot work, the system. So there is a very, very important concept, beyond reasonable doubt. That is the concept. It's not proof. Yep. Proof is not the concept. There is no proof existing. Okay, the proof can be only a person admits himself, all of a sudden he says, I'm cheating, by the way. This is not going to happen. Then you find something in his browser. Okay, he is not idiot. They're not idiots. He will not have it so openly. And that's it. Then it means if you are asking for proof, it means a priori doesn't make any sense any anti-cheating system, because there is no such thing as proof. There is a such thing as beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay, maybe they had a reasonable doubt.
Maybe
they had reasonable doubt. Maybe this is...
No, I mean, again, all this maybe is a way, I mean, what I do, I have, if one chance out of 50 billion is not beyond reasonable doubt, I'm sorry. If a player of 25 feet...
That is assuming that FIDE ratings are legit, because many young players don't play too much, for example, blitz offline, and their blitz OTP ratings do not match.
No, but I mean, then, you are trying to... I mean, not you, but ChessCom trying to dissolve it in a way like you cannot, but you have to measure somehow. Okay, in this case, the person, I mean, he never had any result in blitz. Okay, he is a better player definitely in blitz than 2500, definitely. But maybe 26, maybe even 2650. But beating, I think 3 times Nakamura during this streak, Carlsen, Firuza, it's just ridiculous. It's impossible. I mean, common sense tells it's impossible. It never ever happened I checked. Okay, I cannot check every player, but it's obvious that even weaker player. I mean, not even 4. I'm not talking about 12 in a row. Even 4 in a row, I couldn't find. I mean, it is absurd. I mean, let's not search for. I mean, he has a lot of other. It's not the only one he has. Not the only, let's say, fault he has. He has some others. But this is one. If you don't ban after this, it means you don't want to ban. I'm sorry. Yeah. This. So the concept.
Can I stop you for a second?
No, but 1 second. I want to explain all these 3 things first. Yeah. First, the concept that there is no proof, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is it. What can make sense? You say, is it beyond reasonable doubt? Not beyond reasonable doubt. That we can discuss. I mean, I don't know if 1 out of 50 billion is, if it's not beyond reasonable doubt, that what is, but okay, that is one thing. Second, you're talking about ChessCom banning people. You say, okay, you always receive notes. Yeah, but they're banning people when on the lower level, when nobody knows, nobody cares. But they don't do it on the high level. I played almost 2,000 games already on chess.com, blitz games. I never received a single note like this. I mean, you understand the difference.
Recently, there was a case. There was a case of a GM being banned.
But this is
the guy who played one A4 to rook A3.
because it was too obvious and a lot of noise about it. But I mean, okay, there was one case here, one case there. But you understand, the percentage of cheating, we will talk about it. It's obviously much higher than 1% as they claimed. I played. What is the probability? I mean, it is absurd that. Any player will tell you it's absurd that you play for 1 year. You play a lot of titles. I play many different opponents. Not a single one was banned because when you do it, you give back the rating points. I never received a single notice that I got rating points back. Never. In 2,000 games almost. So it's statistically impossible.
Most likely,
it's not just impossible. It's common sense and statistics tells it's impossible. It's just so that gives you the picture of. You say you have one picture, I have another picture. I have a picture that there are some people who are beating me 2,200, showing absolutely perfect chess, all computer moves, and they were never banned. I mean, this is. I'm sorry. It's like, what I want is to be objective. I look at facts. Yeah. I don't have, doesn't, you can believe me or ChessCom. You don't have to believe. You just look at facts. These are the facts. A person with 1 to 50 billion probability continues to play, earns money. Nothing is done about him. I play 2,000 games almost, and I don't have a single cheater. And I played maybe 100 title Tuesdays in them. Not a single cheater. Come on, this is a joke. It shows to me, we are talking about lower level is one story. On the top level, the concept is very clear. And I can tell you that what I told you about this person, it's one of many, many cases of, it's just the most ridiculous probability. But there are some others with probabilities 1 to 1 million. It is in any court, it would be clearly considered beyond reasonable doubt. And they're not only not banned, they're not even checked. Nothing. So, okay, you can give certain reasons, but I base it on statistics. And to me, after seeing all this, everything is very clear. And the way how they fight against me from the beginning is also clear that it's just I'm not trying to make up a story. It's just everything leads to this conclusion. I cannot find any other, let's say, reason to believe the opposite because it's just logics.
Thank you for the detailed explanation. A couple of remarks I just wanted to say.
I forgot one more thing. Sorry, I will tell you later after.
I sincerely believe that there are cheaters who are not caught on chess.com. And I think it's obvious for anyone. And chess.com even believes the same thing. And its representatives say that they cannot catch 100% because they are not always sure. But I just wanted to say that Why necessarily do you believe that they don't want to ban people? Why don't you make come to a different conclusion? For example,
Because
that they are afraid of lawsuits by people because they don't want to risk, because they are a company who want to be 100% sure and not incur any losses because they ban someone and they sue them over this. Why do you believe that they think otherwise?
Just because all those explanations do not stand the reality checking. That's all. There is no lawsuit at all. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is a fake explanation. Because
the Hans Niemann story?
It only happened because they publicly publish the report and accuse him publicly. If you don't do it, there is no way somebody can. It's your site. It's your rules. You just establish the rules. By the way, since half a year, they already having the license, when you agree that you cannot have anything against if they decide to ban. So for half a year already, you cannot even, but even it's your private site. Okay, this is the rules. You don't play. Of course, everybody will still play. No, this is just like for masses, this explanation stand no. I mean, the only thing, Niemann case, why it ended in a lawsuit, because they publicly published something, because at that time they wanted, I suppose, to support Magnus, and they published this thing publicly with all if they wouldn't do it, you cannot sue them. It's impossible. So that is a fake.
I'm sure it's still possible.
No,
but
it is
possible. More complicated.
No, it's not more. It's just no chance. I mean, simply no chance of winning. Let's say, and of course you can always sue somebody. Nobody is ever going to sue. It's very expensive, and when you have very weak chances. So this is another absolutely false explanation which they give, and I can guarantee you that this is true. I was checking also a lot of legal issues. So that is one story. And then last thing, that's why this is false. What else? Which other reasons you gave me for why do I believe? Because there is no reason for them not to do it objectively, but they don't. That is why, I mean, I don't have logical reasons. And telling I believe doesn't make sense. I mean, I can believe in anything. I see the numbers, I see the statistics, and I believe in what I see, not what ChessCom told me or what I think. I just see. I see that there are a lot of quite serious amount of results, performances, players whose, let's say, performance in certain tournaments or certain quite serious amount of games is, to my understanding, and mathematically, is beyond reasonable doubt. Not only, I don't want to tell the cheaters and they have to be banned. It's not me anyway who has to do it. What I wanted to tell, please, ChessCom, out of respect of integrity of chess, honest play, out of respect of honest players, if a person showing such a result, you have to explain to concurrents how it's possible. Because you cannot just tell, no, because all what they say is, we checked, everything is okay. So what? Why should I trust you? I have my, let's say, I have my common sense, I have my mathematics. I see a person, let's say, beat 20 times in a row, Magnus Carlsen. And you tell me, we checked, everything's okay. I'm sorry, give me numbers, give me something. Why should I trust you? So that's all what they provide to us. And we just have to believe like we are not in kindergarten, we are not 5 years old. Sorry, explain why it is okay. They never so far explained. The only once they did it with Niemann and his user. And actually let's be frank, they lost the case. That was the only one. And since then, they are not even showing anything. So what should I think? One time they decided to show and they lost. They don't show anywhere else, and I have to believe them that they're checking and the anti-cheating system is very strong. No, I'm sorry. I'm a rational person. I want the proof. And and the last and with this case of Nakamura, the only time they published something, and it was so ridiculous. It was just a joke, and I explained many times publicly why it's a joke. I mean, it just has nothing to do with mathematics, with anti-cheating, and then they just kept silent. So, knowing all this, just see the picture. I have to believe to believe them on word. No, I'm sorry, I'm not naive person. No, you have to prove. So, and the last thing I forgot to mention, this is very important also, very important, to understand why they wouldn't ban now some players. Why they are not banning somebody who beats 12 times in a row, top players, in 12 games, and etc., etc. Because of two reasons. You give, you create a precedent. First of all, that you ban a prominent player, but the most important, there is a big risk. Just understand, and this is not paranoia, this is absolutely rational. Okay, you ban a player, and he is very unhappy with it. I mean, first of all, very important, he can get a legal case. I mean, a person can end up in prison for this easily. I mean, because let's say if he won $100,000, let's say, yeah, and you ban him and he admits and you ban him publicly. I'm sorry, but he might start to get cases from his opponents. Okay, I mean, that's one story. Second, his kind of name is ruined. So he wants to fight back. And he comes and he tells, okay, I was cheating in many games, but also in this game, which I lost, also in this against this player, which I drew or lost. And here is my video. I was recording it. Can you imagine if this is the case? Can you imagine how many heads can potentially fall? I mean, it's a drama for ChessCom. If this is happening, it's a drama. So that is why, I mean, there is it's too late for them without a big scandal. They're just, my opinion, they're just afraid. They're very afraid because they understand that people might have a lot of video materials. I mean, they can video what they are doing. And when you ban somebody, but you see that he was winning, losing one game against, I see it, by the way, it's one of the methods of understanding who is cheating, is a person who are, I mean, clearly very high probability of cheating during a certain period of time, let's say 100 games in a row. But for some reason, very often happens that against the same player, he's always making draws or losing. I mean, he's beating like almost everyone else. But those games, 96 boss draw, 95, 97 he lost. I mean, everything is clear, yeah? and he beats everyone else. So, I mean, there are a lot of actually issues which, again, if you understand, I mean, if you see it in my way, I mean, and I'm basing it on statistics, that actually the scale is very serious. Then you can understand that if you want, your business, okay, it's very risky decision, but I still believe they should do it, is to clean the whole thing and to start from scratch. Because otherwise it will ruin the site. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not against ChessCom, but it's already what is happening, that it becomes more and more obvious every day. And that is what I predicted at some point. But that's another story. I will explain later that, one day it will become impossible to hide, even for amateur who doesn't know much about it. It's just too obvious. Yeah. And because people have to cheat more and more. I mean, it's a concurrence. Yeah. And then somebody says, okay, I cheating, let's say half games, I cannot anymore win prizes. So I have to cheat 8 games out of 11. The other guys see, okay, sorry, but there are a few guys who are cheating. So and now it's like there are already some tournaments when people are showing such crazy results that absolutely impossible, because it's the only way for them to win money. And the last thing I want to tell, also very, very, very obvious. I mean, just statistics. Very clear thing. Check the performances in Title Tuesday a year ago and now. How many points now you need to be in top 5? And you will understand everything. It's clearly half point more now than before. What changed? What have changed? Why if before very often 9 out of 11 was enough for first place, 9.5 was almost a guarantee of first place. Now 9 is maximum for top 5. Why? Why do you think it's the case? Ask yourself this question and let's continue.
I think there can be many explanations. I still believe that after all the facts and theories you have provided, there can be multiple explanations for many things that you have mentioned. And I still believe that what you said is true about it being not good for chess.com with the amount of cheaters on their platform if it's high. So it's definitely in their business interests to fight that. And I believe that they are just operating on the basis of the presumption of innocence and the standard of reasonable doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm a lawyer by degree, and I've worked as a lawyer for many years. I know it's in many cases it is impossible to convict someone even if there is just 1 in a million probability that he's innocent. Still, he or she might not get into prison because of this 1 out of a million percentage. So I guess that might be possible about chess.com. It's just different interpretations of their motives.
What I want to say is that there is always, when you are thinking about such situations, there are 2 different ways of seeing. I mean, you have to choose yes or no. True, not true, cheater, not cheater. So basically, there are always ways that somebody is not cheating, that ChessCom really fighting harsh against. There are a lot of factors which are telling the opposite. There is zero. I don't find any objective argumented factor to believe so, but okay. But then it's about basically everybody has to make a decision. My decision is not based on emotions, based on common sense. I see there are, to my understanding, it's 90 to 10. Your version is 10-20%, mine is 80. So I'm on the side of 80. I'm, simply there is much, your explanation, it also makes sense. It's possible, but it's much less likely than the situation, in my opinion. So I'm on the side. It's not because I want it. I just rational person. Yeah. So if I believe, if somebody is showing probability of 1 to 1 million, I'm on this. I'm on the side that he's cheating because, in my opinion, because it's 1 in 1 million. It's just rational. Of course, people, if they don't want. If they're kind of, in my opinion, irrational, they can always say no. But again, I would like to tell you that I'm strongly disagreeing with you. In court, I think beyond reasonable doubt is in more or less considered 1 in 10,000. So 1 in 1 million, nobody will
depends
ever.
on the jurisdiction.
Of course. But 1 in 1 million, nobody will ever be out of prison if it's 1 in 1 million. No, it's beyond reasonable doubt with a big margin. But okay, anyway, I just explained my situation, my concept. I have a lot of things like this, and if it was just one case of this guy, 12 out of 20, but there are so many cases like this. I'm giving all the time the statistics and not everything I gave. And this Nakamura statistics as well. It might be, as I explained, something wrong with his opponents who were cheating before. But the chance of all those tricks to happen is almost non-existent. This I can
Let's discuss Hikaru. Let's move to different topics. Let's discuss Hikaru. I'm really interested in this topic. So for everyone, one of the people that Vladimir Kramnik has been focusing on while conducting his research is Hikaru Nakamura. Obviously, I think the overwhelming majority of the viewers know him. And I was really surprised by that because it is well known and it's universal knowledge, I would say, that Hikaru and Magnus are probably 2 of the best are the 2 best online blitz players of today and ever, probably. Hikaru was around 3,500 rated on ICC 15 years ago already, or even more, when engines were by far weaker. And I personally find it unbelievable that his results could be explained by any kind of form of cheating. So I was really surprised. So the question is, why have you focused on Hikaru so much? And do you really believe that there is something fishy about this player? And what does he stand to gain from this if it is so? What's your opinion?
I mean, first of all, it doesn't matter at all what is a name. I was not focusing on Hikaru. I was focusing on the performances. It happened that these performances were done by Hikaru. It could have been anyone else. I didn't care. I don't care about names. It's very important. I mean, if a player is... I mean, we can talk about this Armstrong and so on. Doesn't matter. He can be greatest ever, but he was cheating for years. And there are many cases, yeah? I mean, in velosport, there were famous legends who was finally found guilty. I mean, a lot of athletes running. So it's a logical fallacy to think that if a player is famous or good, really great, that he cannot cheat. He can. And there were many cases in sports like that. Actually, many. I even saw at some point I published an article on Twitter, like only famous cases. There were like 20 huge cases of the biggest legends in cricket, in football, American football. It's happening. It's happening all the time. So it is already like, it's not an argument. Yeah, it can happen. I don't say it's happened, but it can happen. And to tell that he cannot, or this guy cannot, Carlson can, I can, everybody can. Sorry, but this is an argument. There are also a lot of arguments why, but anyway. So also a lot of reasons why, but in any case, doesn't matter, yeah, now. So we are talking, again, we have to be like this Femid, yeah? You know this statue of Femid, this symbol of justice. Yeah, she has eyes, she has a bandage on the eyes. This is a symbol. You shouldn't look at what is the name of a player. You should look at objective statistics. Okay, if tomorrow, I don't know, I'm found with a knife and full of blood nearby somebody who is, okay, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if it's crazy, but, who else? It's like you should forget about it when you are trying to be objective. So I didn't care about Hikaru. If it was somebody else, Maxim Vashilaga, I'm sorry, very sorry, I respect him a lot, but I would still do the same. Because my point is that such statistical anomalies, and it's huge statistical anomaly, absolutely huge. They must be, it doesn't necessarily mean he was cheating. No, it can be also a huge, let's say, a lot of cheating from his opponents who gain this rating, which has nothing to do with their strength. So then they have to be banned. I mean, if you are more or less serious about anti-cheating, if you really fight against it, you cannot leave such statistics of a player who is the face of your platform, who is earning a lot of money in money tournaments with concurrents. You cannot just say, it's Hikaru, he is good. I mean, I'm sorry. No, if it would be me, I would be the first one to say, yeah, please check me. Because I understand that my concurrents would think, it's very normal. So it's a matter of principle. It's a matter of principle that nobody is above the law. Nobody. And if this is, and I can assure you, and they never contested it, that all those tricks are absolutely unsinkably low probability. So what do you mean? Do you really think? I'm a rational person. I see the statistics. I know that the probability is extremely low. I know most probably, like 99%, that something was, let's say, fishy there. And it's not because I want it, it's because mathematics, sorry, because we are living in a strange world when what I think, or I like this guy, so he cannot cheat, I don't like this guy, he can cheat. No, it's mathematics, I'm sorry. It's common sense, and mathematics tells that the probability of fair play, in this case, from all opponents, yeah, in general. So let's say, what does it mean, the probability? Is that if everyone always played fair, his opponent and him, always, so everything is according to their strengths, then the probability of this is happening is below 0.01%. Okay, so what should I think? Why should I believe in something? I believe in mathematics. It's extremely unlikely. So, Finally, I wanted to be all what I wanted. Check it. Give us a very open report, mathematical report, not nonsense as they did, but mathematical report. Explain us concurrence, because it is the test for integrity of chess. It is even more important to do it with a very well-known player than with somebody else. You must be sure that top players who are earning most of money, they're clean. And it's in their interest, in the interest of platform, if the situation is as you believe that they really want it. So that was my case, and I was explaining. And instead of actually saying, yeah, it is clearly strange, we will check it and we will publish. Yeah, something reasonable, not this nonsense which they did, because that was just fake. I mean, ridiculous report, and I explained many times. So that's what, and I still want it. So as long as it's not done, and it's not explained to me and to others, if it's Magnus, if it's my friend Grishuk, I don't care. I mean, I believe in 99.9. I would be on the side of 99.9 probability than 0.01 probability. If they explain it, prove it mathematically, I can change my mind. But I'm sorry, I'm just a rational person. That's all. That's the whole story.
Can I ask you a follow-up question about another streak? There's a player who yesterday, as of the date of this recording, played with a winning streak of 10 in a row, 10 out of 10, against the best blitz players in the world. His name is Magnus Carlsen, and this was in Super Band Warsaw tournament. 10 out of 10. Mathematical probability of that is probably even less than the one of Hikaru winning like 40 games in a row against easier opposition. And then Magnus also won 9 in a row last year. So doesn't it raise any question for you?
No, because you are always, like many says, probably it's more. No, it's not. It's by far nothing even close to Hikaru's performance. Nothing even close. 2.7% is the probability of this to happen. I mean, of Magnus' performance, I already calculated 2.7. 2.7 is something which easily can happen in a big amount of games. Okay, if it will start happening every time, then of course not. But a single probability...
Every time in Warsaw, he scores this 100%.
What, 100%? No.
Last year also.
No. It's
9 out of 9 last year.
No, he had a streak, but altogether of 9 games. But even this 9 games, the probability is always few percent. What is happening with the streaks of of Hikaru? First of all, performance. You know that what he did, Magnus, his best tournament ever in Zagreb, blitz tournament. Which he won 15 out of 18 with all best players in the world. You know that the performance of this performance, which is unthinkable. I mean, like maybe the best ever performance in the history of chess. I'm telling numbers because all this I'm frankly a bit tired of. Probably, maybe, no, they're numbers. I know all the numbers. So the performance of there was below 3,000 FIDE rating, 2,996. Performance of Hikaru, only one streak, was 3,100. 100 elo points higher. So just for your understanding...
In chess.com rating or in the FIDE rating?
In chess.com even higher, FIDE rating. So just for you to answer, because all this may be... but look at this streak. But I mean, Magnus' streak is like 100 times more probable than Hikaru's streak mathematically. His performance is...
Okay, I invite statisticians to comment on this because I cannot verify the numbers.
But at least performance, everybody can verify. You can just see it on internet. Performance of Magnus, I didn't check yet on here, but it was probably more or less the same because what can be more than 15 out of 18? I mean, there he scored less. Now 15 out of 18.
But you are measuring now the overall result, not the streak. It would be it would be fair to measure the streak if you measure the streak.
No. I'm not measuring.
And there the performance is higher.
No. First of all, no, because the streak, it's not a streak. It's another fake kind of concept which they presented. It's not about winning streak. It's about a winning overperformance streak. It's not a winning streak. Because I can explain you what is it. It is about, let's say you play 20 games. You play 20 games, you win first 16, and then you lose 4. So you have 16 win streak. Or you play 20 games, the same opponent, you win 7, you make 1 draw, you win another few, you make 1 draw, and you win the remaining 1. Who is better player? Who perform more? Of course, the second player. It's not about winning in a row. Not about winning. It's about performing in a row. What I mean that I'm taking, first of all, streaks of, I'm not even taking any streak below 18 games. Because it's too little statistical, yeah? All streaks of Hikaru, which he made, were above 30 games. So we are checking a big amount of games in a row. There was never, ever in OTB, nobody ever even close came to the performance in a 30 games in a row of Hikaru, let's say almost each streak. And he had 23 in last year, only in 1 year. I mean, the probability, you cannot even imagine if you know how it's like completely day and night, the probability of Magnus, what he is doing, OTB, and you probably wouldn't argue with me that he's the best player. I mean, it's like nobody can do better. And the probability of his performances altogether even, or concrete performances, have nothing even close to do with Hikaru's probabilities. It's objectively true. That's why I'm telling, that's why I'm inviting mathematicians. I'm already for half year just telling, okay, guys, if you say it's okay, I'm crazy, I'm wrong, give me your mathematician. I'm ready, even myself, to have an open, like now with you, conversation. And I want to see, first of all, who is this guy? Who is it? You never open the name. You get a bunch of best mathematicians. I'm on myself, like an amateur. I'm going to talk to them. And you will see, they never agree to it. Because they know. I mean, I'm sorry, but they know how it will end. Because not a single mathematician, about probabilities, there are a lot of different ways. Because I'm not doing it myself. I have my team of mathematicians as well. But I'm even ready to give them huge handicap. I'm just like amateur in mathematics. I mean, I know something. I'm ready to talk to them, and we will see. They will make me a fool, or they will convince public, but they never agree, and they will never agree to it. Never. Because they know very well that this is the truth. And that's why when they published this report about those streaks, which was so ridiculous that you can only laugh at it, and I explained why. I published refutation. I asked them, okay, come on, guys, this is not publish something serious. They just stopped talking about it. They never agreed to talk with me. They never agreed to give a single number. Single number. I'm giving numbers. They never give a single number because they know it's objective truth. Once you give a number, you are responsible for it. But they don't give, please tell me a number ever. They gave a number about this trick. No, they gave one. They gave in this report, short report, which cannot be even called report, they gave 3 numbers, 2 of them were wrong. I mean, wrong factually wrong. And since then, they just don't speak about it. That is the situation. So, okay, judge for yourself. If you want to believe in something, in my opinion, totally irrational, welcome. But I'm a rational person. I mean, okay, I know the probability is low. I know it can also be, there is a very small, tiny chance everybody played fair, very tiny, almost impossible. There is a considerable chance his opponents have absolutely rating which has nothing to do with their strengths, many of them, and then that it's an issue of you cannot leave it like this, that those players are all playing still. Or there is a third variation, but I'm on the side of 99.99%. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a very strange person for nowadays world, but that's the case.
If I heard you correctly, you are open to public debates and discussions with scientists, with statisticians.
Yeah, with there.
I think that
with their guy.
That would be great to arrange it with chess.com. I'll try to contact their team because I'm sure that this would be a great content.
But one very important little note is that I offered this many times to them, publicly and privately. They never agreed. First. Second, lately I offered them, I offered them to pay myself. I will pay it to choose most like established mathematician in the world, Oxford, whatever, give them the stats and they publish their report about it. I offered it. I said, if you agree, I will pay for it. They never agreed. Nothing, I believe there is no more comment needed. Everything is very clear, but you can still believe whatever you want.
I'll try to reach out to chess.com.
But I will tell you the result. I know what will be. They will never agree to it because they know it as well as I know it. I'm sorry. That's why I'm doing it. I will pay whatever you want, but they never will do it. So you will see. But try, give it a try.
I think you also mentioned that you think you could defeat in a debate any statistician.
No, not defeat.
On this.
No, it's
like convince.
Not even convince
on the validity of your claims.
That is for
right?
sure. Yeah, but not defeat. It's not about defeating.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. So, what about? I know that most of people who watch us in English don't speak Russian, but there used to be a series of videos by a chess YouTuber with a PhD in statistics, Chess Ray. I don't know his real name.
No, he doesn't have a PhD in statistics.
I think he has provided. He has a PhD. I'm not sure about statistics, but some related area at least. So. What do you think about a possibility for dialogue with him and different experts in this area?
But he's not an expert. Not an expert. I want independent expert. I don't believe he's independent. I published the full video, like 1 hour. He's making a lot of manipulations. I'm with the numbers. After this, to me, everything is very clear that he is not objective because he makes such clear mistakes, and I explain it very well. You can watch this video I think it's in Russian. Yeah,
I've watched all your videos on this topic, and I watched his response to your response.
Yeah, but
he says that you've made many mistakes.
No. But again, it's like, people who don't really know much about it. I say one thing and ask, let's ask a mathematician. He will tell, because for me. I'm in the matter. I have my mathematicians about. It's a joke. What he's telling, it's like I will tell you. Let's play French. E4, C5, knight F3, E6. This is knight F. It's a joke. It's ridiculous. It's only can work for people who doesn't know about it. What he is doing is I'm absolutely standing. It's a clear purpose manipulation, very clear, because he is doing things which are just obviously wrong, and he knows it. He cannot not know it. He knows it, and I'm absolutely sure that he is delivering certain work for certain people. I even quite sure for whom, and that is my stand. If he wants to prove it or something, I'm not going to prove any. There are many manipulators like this, many nowadays. And I cannot spend time explaining. I recorded a video. I explained why he is manipulating. I cannot continue all the time with him, with another guy, because there is a PhD guy. For example, I can tell you the story, Mr. Quelli. I don't think he was manipulating on purpose. I don't think so. But of course, Hikaru, ChessCom, they were referring to him a lot. And what happened is, he published his statistics that actually there is not much cheating. This trick is very likely, and so on. And then I contacted him. He's a very established mathematician, but people should understand one thing, I will tell later, that it doesn't mean you make a right research, because for any research, what is very important is the setting, the parameters. If you put the wrong parameters, your result will be wrong. And to set the correct parameters, you need to understand the nuances of the story. If you don't, you set wrong and he was setting a lot of wrong parameters. So he is excellent mathematician, I suppose, but the result cannot be right. So I contacted him. And I said, okay, this is wrong. That is not correct. You are mixing, for example, different time controls. You are mixing, this is just wrong. I mean, that is a problem. So he said, yeah, maybe. So at some point, then he was, of course, also studying one streak of Hikaru instead of 20. I wrote him, I mean, I'm sorry, this is just ridiculous. It's not what I'm talking about. And then once, actually like a month ago, he wrote me again. He said, yeah, by the way, I saw your new thing. Okay, there are many streaks. It seems he didn't know it. I mean, I don't know how he didn't know it because it was about many streaks, not one, yeah? And then he wrote me, could you please provide me the data that I calculate the probabilities? I said, yeah, with pleasure. I will do it. Please calculate. And if you could be so kind to tell me what was your final conclusion. We had a very cultural, very polite talk. I mean, chat, yeah? And I sent him all the data. Since then, silence. I wrote him already twice. I asked him, Mr. Quelle, would you be so kind just to tell me what was the result of your research? No answer anymore. Silence. Why? I mean, why not to...
Okay, let's
I mean,
let's wait for the result.
For example, we can wait for ages, but the same story was with a few others. And so with this chess ray, I mean, I have no doubt. Everything to me is clear, but I cannot, you can have your own opinion, but I cannot just explain. I cannot explain base and let's say try to get into dispute with anyone. That's why I ask, please, Oxford, whatever, Yale, mathematicians, and we will not anymore talk. I mean, not chess ray, chess light, whatever. Okay, get the best ones. I pay. And we close the story. No, they don't want it. They want to get it murky for some reason. Okay.
Do you believe that there is a probability that you might be wrong in all of this? That there is research done by experts and they say that you made some mistakes, you cherry-picked the data, something like that, and this was not correct?
No, I mean, I don't say that it was fully correct. That I cherry-picked the data, this is completely wrong. Any basic knowledge of the guy knows that because I'm not cherry-picking, I'm dividing. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. I mean, all these things, it can work only for really person who doesn't know any. I can tell you a more or less serious knowledge. A person will explain you this just doesn't make any sense. Because cherry-picking, what is cherry-picking? Cherry-picking, I mean, what I do, I set in groups. Let's say, have you seen the last ChessCom report? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
But they
Part
do exactly
one on the upsets.
Yeah.
Right?
But they do exactly this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they
I've
do
read
exactly
it.
this. They do exactly this. I mean, after this is just such a joke because once, let's say, they share groups into certain rating ranges, yeah. But that's whole report they are doing it, and that's what I do. I'm not cherry picking. I'm just telling when I say this player against top 30 or against 2,700 plus, he's showing this result. It's exactly what ChessCom and every normal statistician would do. But he starts to claim it is cherry picking. It is not. It is just he's manipulating on purpose. I can stand by this word. He's on purpose manipulating public. End of the story. Because, I mean, you can check it. I mean, what I do is exactly like any sensible person is doing. I'm not picking games. I take a group, and in this group or in this period of time, I'm counting all games played. I'm not cherry picking, but he manipulates public, explaining that taking a certain group or certain time is cherry picking. It's not cherry picking. It has nothing to do with it. And this is exactly what ChessCom is doing themselves. So, I mean, it's so obvious.
Coming back to my question,
it is.
Coming back to my question, you believe that there is a world where you could be wrong,
but what do you mean?
Right?
What do you mean?
So the probability.
No. I mean, of course, the probability. No,
exists.
I mean, in what sense wrong? What exactly? Of course, in some things, yes.
About your conclusions, about some people whom you believe to be cheaters, but
it's
scale of the
problem. I'm convinced it's big. I mean, it's big, but again, what it means. I would say no doubt it's more than 10%. There is no doubt. Then 40, 30, 20, I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's exactly this. Nobody can be convinced. But no doubt that it's much higher than people say. And by the way, lately, if you saw the last video of this lie detector with Magnus, and I would recommend you to see it. But he tells the same. He tells under the lie detectors, when he is asked a question, do you think, you can see, everybody can see this video. He's asked a question with a lie detector and the person sitting there checking. So he's asked a question, do you think online chess, the cheating is widespread? He says, yes, definitely yes. And the guy who is checking in the time, he said, yeah, he's completely sure about it. I mean, I'm sorry, Caruana is sure, he is sure, I'm sure. How many, only ChessCom is telling the come on, this is a joke. But in any case, what do you mean you can be wrong? In what exactly? Of course I can be wrong, but in what exact matter? That, I'm not saying somebody is 100% cheating. I'm not saying it. I'm saying the probability, this is a fact. This is not opinion. It is a fact. Mathematical probability of this is 0.01 or 0. You can argue maybe 0.001, but it's extremely low. This is a fact. It's not an opinion. Opinion, what I say, please, this is a fact, mathematical fact. Please check it and explain it to us. That's all I say. So what do you mean I'm wrong? I'm wrong in what? That I'm asking them to check it and they refuse by all means. I'm offering them best possible mathematician to pay them to check it. They refuse. Where I'm not claiming everybody is cheater. I'm not claiming this. I'm just so if you
no, I'm not saying you said this.
Exactly?
I was speaking about a different thing.
Exactly,
that
in what exactly?
When you it seems that there are some people who disagree with you, and some of them are even like experts on Twitter or this Chess Ray guy, and you dismiss them as being biased and not objective and not knowing anything.
They know, of course, but when I see a specialist making a childish mistake, I dismiss it already. If he's making an obvious on purpose mistake, it cannot be not on purpose. Let's say you ask me a lesson, chess lesson, and I want Naidov. I want you to give me a lesson on Naidov. And I start, e4, e6, d4, d5, e5, this is Naidov. Come on, you stop. I'm Kramnik, I'm chess player, but what is the nonsense you're talking? I'm sorry. You are just manipulating me. You cannot, that is the level of mistakes they do. It's like basic. And then, so if a person does, this Mr. Quelli, he is a good mathematician, I'm sure, but he is taking a wrong data, completely wrong data, and he admitted basically to me. So how can I seriously consider? This all looks like a big manipulation of him, because some people provided him a wrong data. Once somebody, that's why I want an open discussion with anyone on, let's say, live on internet, because we have to first, this is the data. Agree. Okay, and now we speak. But when it's always like they're analyzing one streak instead of 20 streaks, come on, what can, it's not about their level. I don't know their level, but doesn't make sense to speak about, It's like we are playing a different game. So we sit on the board and I play chess and somebody plays checkers. It's just nonsense. Let's play one game. Let's agree to facts, to what we analyze, how we analyze, and then we analyze. But I don't say that I'm specialist and they're all not. It's just like, it's a very strange situation that, they simply ignore the data and they analyze part of the data, only the same chess rate, only the part they want to analyze. And this is not serious. That's a story. I'm sorry. But I can even go concrete, very concrete in details, which exactly mistakes they make. But it's not probably I would say, this. It's not the format here. But I'm... Okay. That's why that's why also that makes me believe the situation is so bad, because that they're trying to hide something. because what they do is crazy. It's like chess player would call e4, e5 Sicilian. It's just crazy. I mean, cannot be not on purpose. I just don't understand it.
You said that you have worked with scientists and statisticians in the pursuit of your research. Yeah. Can you please name names and scientific degrees of such people who participate in the research, who review your results and approve them scientifically? Because that would help the credibility. That's the question that many of my subscribers asked when I asked them what to ask Vladimir Kramnik.
I will definitely do it, but I'm not the one who is responsible for taking decisions here. So I would do it after ChessCom will reveal their names. They never revealed a single name. So them first. I'm a gentleman. They're first. I will also reveal all statistics, all analysis, researches after they will do, because they have to do it, not me. It's their obligation for me. So as long as they're refusing to give any name, to give any serious research mathematical on this age, I will not start, because I explained it already. Because I want them at least once to give once you give a name, a number, this person is responsible for what he says. And that's why I can clearly see the strategy. They never give a name, they never give a number. So then you can always say, okay, it was no, please, sorry. You give, I give. But I'm not going to play on the field. I'm not going to play the game where the cards are changing all the time. The pack of cards always different. No, let's settle. You give, I give. You make report, I make report. I made already 20 times more numbers and so on that they did. It's the ball is on their side. Sorry, guys. If you want, let's say, to prove something, it's your turn. Now, I will follow. I can guarantee you, I will follow immediately. But they will not do it, of course. I know they're not going to do it, because I know once they publish a serious report, really with every number of probability, everything, whether you are responsible for it already, and the mathematician which would never sign it, at least with the conclusions, because then his name is under fire, so to say. Or they will not publish, one of two. If I'm mistaken, I would be very, very glad to be mistaken. And then because the report signed by Danny and Eric, mathematical report, this is a joke, I'm sorry. I want a mathematician name, signature, and then we speak with my mathematicians. Before that, why should I provide,
Let's discuss another famous chess player whom we have already mentioned in this podcast. Hans Niemann recently said that you coached him, that you had face-to-face training sessions.
It's a strong word.
So the question is, what do you think about Hans?
It's a strong word, coaching, but we spent 3 days or something, We spent 3 days on it. Kind of was interesting, funny.
So what do you think about his sudden rise to the chess.com's leaderboard? He is number 2, or used to be number 2, at least in Blitz on the platform. Do you consider him a figurant of your further research, or
everybody is? Everybody is. I have statistics on each move, each game, each tournament, on every top 100 player, OTB and online, for last 1 year at least. So I have all statistics, how the guy is playing end game, middle game, with this time, 5 seconds, speed of game, everything. And I can tell you, everything is very clear there. By some people, completely clear. It's like some very, very strong players, some people beyond any reasonable doubt. So I have it all, but okay, that's enough. Of course, he's also like me, like I myself. Also, we should be all under the guidance, but I can tell you that I didn't check what was happening before. I don't have time to do everything, but his stats lately, let's say since he came back to this, at least I'm checking again, because there's so many 3-0 games, you just cannot check everything. But I'm checking Title Tuesdays. He starts, even though he's doing well there and he's one of the best, in ratings, but it's not even in top 10. There are many players who have much better performances in all fields than him. Believe me or not. So what I mean that, of course...
In Title Tuesdays.
Yeah, in Title Tuesdays, yeah. Even though he won one and he was some prizes, but by all, overall, in details, in concrete parameters, he is not in... for the moment. But what I mean is it doesn't mean he's cheating or not cheating. Doesn't mean. But you definitely take, care first of those who are actually below him on rating, on everything, and having much higher performance than him. It's normal. But of course, he is also like everyone. Yeah. So what do I think about his race? Well, what do I think? He is not the lowest rating player from the guys who had and still have this rating. That's what I think. I don't think, I want to try to explain to you. I don't think anything. I look at statistics and I see. And I just check and I don't know. The fact, I don't want to express opinions in this story. Cheating, not cheating. I want to express facts. That's all I care. Because opinion is not right. It's too sensitive, too... such a matter where your eyes has to have the, this bandage that you shouldn't see who is it. All I want to give you numbers. By numbers, it is clearly our performance, very serious our performance, but much, pretty much less than some other players. That's who are considered to be clean and absolutely not even a doubt. Whom, if you would even say, okay, this guy might be changed. No, come on, you're crazy. Here, the guy is overperforming a bit, even sometimes considerably less, but it's a common thing to tell, oh, come on, he's cheating, of course. This is ridiculous. Let's check the numbers. So I don't know. I really don't know. He is going to be followed like any other player. And for the moment, he is not like the suspect on the list, not even in top 10. But it doesn't mean he is playing fair. It doesn't mean nobody a priori is playing fair. Nobody.
Okay. You like to say that you are a rational person operating on the basis of facts, not emotions.
Yeah. No emotions.
I have a question in that regard. So you have recently published a series of videos on some chess players whom you could say whom you are not impartial towards. Who, for example, did something to make you unhappy. It could be argued. For example, international master Matvey Galchenko, who published information that you played under the Krakowi account, some other people who played against you and you suspected them while playing against them because they won against you. So that's made them targets of your research. So the question is, does this go in line with the principle of impartiality? Because you want to be impartial and you can do your best, but you cannot in such cases. I used to work in law, as I said, and in most countries, you cannot be a judge in a case where you have a personal grudge, so to say. But, and you have researched many people whom you might have such a grudge against. Do you agree?
No, it's your assumption that I might have. Actually, I don't have. I don't feel like it's the idea is different. But there are some why I do research, not only by the many researches I did with players whom I didn't even play, but because I just learned about the guy. Because he played against me, it was clear that it was very dubious, and I started to make a research. That was the case. Like with this Galchenko guy, I didn't even know about him. It's just that when I learned about him, I understood that it's what he's saying is very, very suspicious. And I started to check his games. That's all. It was not a revanche. This is a way, all this ChessCom Nakamura, it's always a way to make it emotional, personal. It's not personal. Believe me, I don't care at all about the guy. I don't know him and I don't want to know. I don't care. It's just that once you check, like Nakamura, there was nothing after now, okay, of course I don't like him because what he started to do after is just insane and, so dirty and ugly what he was doing, insulting, I mean, okay, still I don't hate, I just despise him, yeah? But, I mean, it was not because I have something personal, it's just because the guy has, I mean, such performance, I clearly see that there is, in my opinion, 100% clear something is fishy. If not 100, I just present it. I present arguments. I don't want to damage somebody. I present arguments. I think they're very strong. Many people agree with it. Some maybe not, but that's all I do. If you don't agree with it, argumentatively, okay, yeah, it's your point. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I just tell, okay, this is what I think. This is what I believe. Here are the numbers, games, everything. And that's it. I mean, again, with a guy like Galchin, I mean, I just don't want to continue. I don't care about him. I mean, I just know that Caruana very openly was, let's put it this way, suspecting him. I know Kamsky was suspecting him. To put it mildly, I also do.
Well, Kamsky is suspecting everyone.
And not everyone. No, sorry, not of course many, but not everyone. And I know, as we talked about it at the beginning of it, I know things you don't know. So I know some opinion of other top players. Let's put it this way. And it's the same.
I'm very looking forward to publication.
But I cannot. But again,
things that are yet unknown.
That is very important issue. Maybe at the end of this thing, I want to explain you another very important point in this to make the full mosaic, the picture full. So let's say people say, okay, I'm the only one. Of course, first of all, not. You can see Magnus telling Caruana, Vashela Graf. I mean, many people are telling. Openly even, but of course they are telling it in a very much more accurate way. Why? I mean, maybe because I can tell you a couple of secrets. I will tell you. I'm in communication with maybe most of top players, private communication, and that's what I mean. And I know their opinion. Let's put it this way. Okay, that's all I want to say about it. I cannot morally reveal any details. But I can tell you one last thing. Believe me, not it's your choice. But I'm hand on the Bible that quite a number of those they were thanking me for what I do. They were saying, "Please go on, please continue," and that is the truth. I mean, okay, believe me, not your point. That is the truth, and I know what they think. I know you might guess or something. I know. So doesn't matter. Okay, that is another story. But you might not believe me. That is just, if you won't believe, if not. But the point is that why I'm the only one who is doing it so openly. So because, first of all, in a way, it's a role. I've chosen this role after started checking it, after also having private conversations with some players. In a way, it's a role of like Matrosov. You know who is Matrosov. So I'm going in the front row under all the bullets because I know that it's not going to be funny. But first of all, I don't care so much. I'm not monetizing from my image, whatever, world champion. I don't care about it. So that is, and second, I'm not anymore professional chess player. I'm not part of the world of chess. So if somebody hates me or ChessCom hates me, I don't care. I mean, I can show a finger. Yeah. So, and it's much more difficult for other players. So. And secondly, very important, okay, you probably, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but you can try to ask, I would like publicly to ask ChessCom, maybe if they can reveal, I don't think it's anything secretive in the information, how many top players, famous players are under contract of chess.com. Very good question, maybe you can ask.
Quite a lot as far as I know.
Quite a lot, yeah. And one of the closer, frankly, I saw one of these contracts some time ago. Yeah, one of the clauses you cannot say anything basically against ChessCom, and that is for people to understand. At least in the one draft, I saw a draft of one contract. Of course, I will not tell you from whom. And there's very clear, very strong limitation on what you can do, what you cannot say. And that is the point. I mean, basically, I'm sorry, I'm very, you already understood that in this interview and in other. See, I'm very straightforward. I don't care what people will think. But, I mean, to my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, this is what I personally would call buying silence. It's buying the silence. Basically, you pay the very good contracts, but you are not allowed to tell anything, basically. And in my opinion, that is the main reason why players are only, they still, and I can thank those who are still even having this contract, they still start to complain, they still tell it publicly, but they just cannot, whether they have to stop the contract. And this is a very important point. This is actually in all my picture, which I've drawn today, this is a very important element that, I hope they'll not be too insulted with it, but you get this whole structure, you don't touch some, and you buy the silence. You buy the silence of many players, basically. So, it's very, of course, it's not the euro, but it's de facto is how I see it. Otherwise, if not these contracts, I can guarantee, I'm absolutely convinced, again, believe me or not, there would be already a number of players who would be very loud about it. And that is the last cherry on the pie to understand the whole situation. So, so when I see the situation, I'm playing this role, if you want. Also, that's why I'm so harsh. I'm so provocative, if you want. Yeah, it's a strategy which I've chosen because I don't see any other way. I understand how bad is the situation, in my opinion. And if I just start to be polite, no, maybe this guy, he has 1 out of billion chance, but maybe he cheated, maybe not, but come on. I mean, I'm just going all in. Yes, I get a lot of hate. Maybe, I agree, maybe with 1 or 2 out of 50, I'm wrong. I mean, or maybe less, I don't know. I understand. And I apologize immediately to everyone who is wrongly suspected. I know it's my fault. But if you don't do this now, we will ruin online chess first, integrity, and then the real. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I know I'm doing some things. Some people are probably clean, not too many from whom I mentioned, but definitely big minority, but maybe. And I sincerely apologize to them, but I don't see any other way, unfortunately. How to get this point that, something has to be done about it. We don't have much time, I can assure you. Technologies are raising. It's going to get offline, I can assure you. If not already, probably not, but very soon. We just don't have time to ask ChessCom, to wait for the response for 2 months, and they promise a lot of things they never do, like this check-in. Maxim Vashelograph, we had a recording with him, stream, and he was asking ChessCom to, they never did, of course, and they never do, and time goes and goes. Cheating is more and more, and once it's offline, the case is over. And, simply no time. Okay, people would hate me, think I'm crazy, so what? Okay, I mean, not that I like it, but it's not most important. So that is now maybe situation is more like in full, or more or less in full. Well, at least my way of seeing it.
Well, thank you very much for sharing the way you see it. I have a final question. You will soon play a match against Jose Martinez Alcantara, aka Jospem. It will be an exciting event to watch, definitely. He was one of the suspects on your list. What do you think could happen there? Do you consider yourself the favorite? And how would Jospem need to perform for you to say, I was wrong, he's the guy who was wrongly suspected by me?
No, but suspected, he cannot be wrongly. So, I mean, again, the terminology is wrong. I mean, if somebody is performing with like 0.1% probability, let's say, he cannot be wrongly suspected. He can be clean. And I never said he is cheating, he is a cheater. What I always said, okay, why I didn't play a game with him? Because I mentioned to ChessCom that I'm not going to play, not because he is cheater, because this thing has to be checked, has to be explained to people. It was a protest against ChessCom, not against him. It's not okay. He's cheating. No, I mean, I don't know. I tell you that his probabilities of unfair play is much, much higher than streaks of Hikaru. I mean, nothing even to compare. It's very low. It's, let's say, low, but it's possible. It's not impossible. So, I mean, that's why I don't I just don't know how he plays. I mean, he's definitely a good player. And the whole idea of this match is why I agreed to play it. It will not show that much. I mean, in the sense of result. Because anyway, you can always say I was in bad form. It's not even so much about it. It's about what I want is that this becomes a norm. That somebody who is performing so incredible, much above his that he plays a match. Me, anyone else, doesn't matter. He has to play, and people should see, and that's it. It's and they're making this story as if it's like proof of he is cheating or not cheating. I mean, okay, if I beat him like +10, it will be close to a proof, but that's not going to happen. Then what can be a proof? Only if he beats me +15, maybe, yes. Then it's also proof that he's incredibly strong. Then, by the way, question is why he is not playing World Championship and so on. But anyway, otherwise, almost any result. I mean, okay, statistically, mathematically, if you are talking about FIDE rating and taking, let's say, performances online, he should be scoring out of how many games are there? 36 or 30? I don't even remember. 36, I think.
Something like that.
It should be minimum +10. Minimum he should make. I mean, minimum more between +10, +12. That should be his result in this match. So that is mathematics. I mean, by all probabilities, ratings, FIDE, ChessCom, everything. So, I mean, that is expected. So you tell if you win, I mean, I should not win. It shouldn't be. Normally, I mean, if you're talking about...
But your FIDE ratings and blitz are
lower.
around
no,
the
now
same
it's
mark.
lower.
You have dropped some points, but
we are talking.
not
we are talking half. We are playing half games OTB, half games online. So it should be scoring some good +10. So okay, let's say
you think
he scores.
He's the favorite?
Of course. I mean, no doubt. Of course, he's the favorite. I mean, but he should. I mean, if he would not win, that would be. I mean, again, in my opinion, extremely suspicious. He should crush me, basically. I mean, crush is too strong word, but he should have what would be normal result, like +6, +8, that he wins without, that I don't really have a chance in the match. That would be a normal result, normal. I mean, according to the facts simply, But whatever is the result, again, it's not about so much the result. I mean, I simply don't know how he plays. Maybe it's very possible that he's really strong. He's really quite strong. It's also possible that he's nothing so special. I have no idea. I want to check, to play, to see his games, not only the result, how he plays. If it's then 36 games, it's a big number of games played with a, comparably strong player, which he never does in OTB. And then you can compare on the server. You can see if it's more or less the same. Perfect. I mean, by level also, not only by result. So but it's not like, it's just that I wanted to make it a norm. It must be a norm. Anyone who overperforms in a long sequence of games has to go through this procedure. Okay, you can pay even. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. What's the problem? So it's more about this, but I'm interested. I haven't yet started to prepare. I don't know if I will, but in any case, I will try at least to warm up a bit, to play some games. But I want to see, and it's not like to point the fingers. Oh no, he is cheater. He's not cheater. I mean, this is all Nakamura style, where they moved ChessCom. They are moving the agenda from mathematics, numbers, and common sense and rationality to emotions. I mean, like, I'm not trying to prove he's a cheater. I mean, I'm just asking, please check, please make him play under surveillance. And then I get an offer that, I can do it myself. Yeah, I do. I just want such players to do it, and that's all. I mean, it's much more, but of course you need drama, you need PR, you need people, subscribers, and then everybody creates a drama out of it. When I tell that, okay, my guy, Hikaru, his tricks are crazy, I mean, okay, please check it. So now, and they created a full drama with insulting me. And so, I mean, what am I doing wrong? I mean, it's obvious his tricks are out of any norm. I mean, imaginable deviation even of norm. So please check it. That's all I want. If his opponents get a crazy rating and they're playing bad, you have to punish them. If not, I mean, just check and tell us. That's all. I mean, so I'm trying as much as I can to be rational, to give numbers, to tell that actually the whole discussion is not about concrete people, not about emotions. Okay, there is a very, very low probability performance, etc., etc. Please explain to public, to players, because we play with them. We always play with them. We play in the last round. We just want to know. I'm sorry about Hikaru. Everybody knows that people are... Not that I don't know a single person who tells, no, Hikaru is cheating. Frankly, no. But I don't know a single person who frankly, among whom I know, who will tell, no, but for sure, he's clean for sure. No, everybody just sees from top players. They see the numbers, they say, okay, I'm kind of confused. I don't know what to think. So why you leave all players who are playing with him confused when you can just... be transparent and just explain. And if this explanation will be mathematically correct, logical, but we will agree, no problem. No problem. I'm not accusing Hikaru or Jospem. I just want, to explanation. That's all.
Okay, thank you for the clarifications. It is a tradition of this podcast to finish it off with a blitz game.
Okay.
Of course, if you have the time and
Sure.
if you want. Usually, top grandmasters give me time odds to make it a bit more interesting. If you're willing, we can we can pick the time convenient for you.
No, as you want. As you do it as usual as with other players, maybe. It will be my first step of the preparation for the match with Jospem.
I will warm you up for Jospem. So yeah, since you are not into like pre-moving and stuff like that,
give me like
I played with Naroditsky 30 seconds, and here
give me
have
1 minute and maybe 1 second increment or 1 second because I cannot perform moves quickly. Even 1 second is barely enough for me to make a move.
Okay. Let's start. You've added some. Okay,
I can add more if you want.
2 more minutes to. Yeah, 5 against 1. I think would be. I still would hardly stand a chance, but okay, thank you. Enough. Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's go. Okay. Okay.
No, I'm playing pretty fast.
Yeah.
I still have like 1 minute. Okay, I can minus some time for me if you want.
No. It's okay. Okay. Mhm. Okay, let's try this.
No, it's not bad. It's actually very clever.
I thought there should be something, but maybe there is nothing.
But it's an interesting game. It's actually a very interesting game.
Okay. So it seems that I'm lost.
Well, yes, there is still some, but it was fantastic game. Actually, very interesting. You still want to fight? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll
Yeah,
resign.
no, but it's a great game. Actually, you know what's the point? Well, you know what's the problem? That in fact, you don't have more chances playing 5 against 1 with me than 3 against 1, because I'm using your time also to think. So this is, by the way, a very big misunderstanding of players, that they think if they get 10 minutes against 1, they have more chance. Actually, maybe 1 against 1, you have more chance. Then, because I'm just using, and understandably, I'm using it much more efficiently this time than you when you think. Because, for example, I haven't seen Bishop F8. I've seen it only when you started to think, because I saw this whole line, and if I don't play Bishop F8, King H6, Knight F5, King G5, Knight D6. And when I saw, only because you spent the time, I saw Bishop F8 while you were thinking, and then I saw. But it was a good game. You play well. I mean, it was a very interesting game, actually. I mean, very interesting one.
Thank you very much. Turns out I wasn't winning after the sacrifice, but I was +1.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. It was very dangerous for me. I mean, somewhere here, I wouldn't bet on my position. Somewhere here, I have my doubts. I don't know. I really had my doubts here.
Here is where
I mean,
I
Queen
don't see
B4, somewhere here. Queen B4. Bishop takes D5, a very scary position for me, very scary. I mean, I didn't see any clear refutation. Actually, I don't see it now also, according to engine, but it's extremely scary position. So that's true. But okay, but it was good game. Yeah, I enjoyed it, actually.
Thank you for this opportunity, unique opportunity to play world champion, even though former. I hope I've warmed you up a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm ready for the match. Yeah.
Good luck in the match. Okay, I hope after the match I hope we can make another one without cheating, but discussing different topics.
Of course. Thank you very much. Okay, it was an interesting conversation. Thank you for giving me the platform to explain my views, my position, because I don't get it. I mean, all ChessCom and ChessCom friendly platforms just refuse to talk to me because of what I said probably here, because they don't want to hear it. So at least people, again, I don't want to convince people. I mean, whatever, they can decide on their own who is right, who is wrong. But at least what I want is to be able to express my point of view. And thank you again for giving me this opportunity. And best of luck to you.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like the podcast, subscribe. And I'm waiting for your comments, for your feedback. I know many of you are skeptical about Mr. Kramnik. Many of you are his supporters. So let's see how many of both camps there are on my channel. And see you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.